Good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're right, because it's time for Profit Review. Last week we discussed the May 29, 2025 Rust Store, and that means today we're here to talk about the June 4 Swipe Rust Store for 2025. That being June 5, 2025. Oh. Yeah, that happened. Bit awkward. So it quite literally showcases right now on the SEMM that you could use Skinlytics. I've actually spoken to the guy behind this website. He seems pretty alright. I also kind of anticipate this potentially happening again. I did take a screenshot of the actual page as well, but we can make this work. We can still discuss about what happened. So June 5, 2025 was my initial reaction when I saw these skins. We've been saying this for like the past couple videos now. We were anticipating Tier 3. Yeah, we didn't get it. We got Boneforged. Yeah, I was ecstatic about that. Ah. So for the June 4 swipe, it was pretty cool. I mean, we got another Neon Garage door being accepted, the farm door. Okay. By default, I'm not feeling very confident based on the fact that the other neon doors from the Neon Storage collection weren't exactly doing very well. But farm door might be a little bit different. There's a lot of farmers out there, and they do appreciate a good skin for themselves. So, okay, sure. Bamboo collection did continue. We got a large box, and I assure you, when that appeared, the small box spiked demand, spike in price, ever so nice. So the feeling was we're potentially going to be seeing a very interesting deployable collection with a very nice bit of creative transparency. Things were looking pretty good. That small box was going up in price ever so nice, and perhaps the large box was going to be the same. But could the large box be utilised in a very similar fashion? That's a good talking point. We'll get over with that in a bit. But looking at all the other skins, not everybody is fully well aware, but the Ruin SMG was a pay-to-win transparent Aimsight skin. In the midst of seeing Heat Seeker skins, we didn't see one this week. No, we had a break, but that was still transparent Aimsight. That was still a pay-to-win Aimsight, and it's also green, along with the other Ruin weapon skins. They've the anticipate what we were thinking was, could it end up like the AK going up in price ever so nice? I mean, just saying. So with the hype of the jungle hype, we did see those skins go up ever so nicely, the SAR and the garage door and all that. But it was going down a fair bit up to this point. Could Ruin SMG still work out? There was some positivity, but I wasn't 100% sure. Then we also saw some other collection continuations, like a tempered backpack. Okay, fair enough. It's nice to see that collection still continuing after about 10 years. Yeah. Antique collection randomly surprises me with some tools. Night Hunter's door looking pretty cool. And Croco AK-47, another green AK-47 skin. Did we just recently have that Bam Boom? Yeah, well, there you go, another one. Huh. Alright, fair enough. Maybe it might still, perform better compared to most AK-47s. There's a little bit of belief there. But looking at all these skins, of course, I'd be wondering what potentially is going to be the best investment for the week. So initially, I did straight up talk about the bamboo. So let's now go over to the Skinlytics website. Let's see if I could get the workshop page pretty quickly. So if I go over to here, click that, there we go. I was making short videos showcasing that you could probably utilize this as a nice thing to stand over from like a roof. There's a short video out there, feel free to go look it up. But basically, yeah, I thought that could be utilized because that took 60 bullets from an AK to destroy. But all the transparency to give you a good little look real quickly, and then you can quickly hop back. You could quickly maybe hop out, peer over with your gun out, shoot people, pull back, reload, still keep an eye on them with the transparency. Because there's also an interesting thing where when you look at, from below, looking up, it adds like an extra layer. It adds like an extra layer of one of the sides with the cross netting thing here. You see what I mean there? But it doesn't. You don't see it when you look down, which was odd. Again, if you watch the short video, you'd see for yourself. So, okay. And then there's also the possibility of seeing another collection continuation. Things were looking pretty good. That was looking interesting. We never had a transparent large box before, so that was the main skin I was looking at and thinking, you know what? That probably would be a pretty interesting thing to chase after. Then looking at all the other skins here, by default, I thought Boneforged would be a thing to look forward to in terms of a collection continuation. By default, doesn't matter. If it doesn't sell that much, if you still see a collection continuation, you'd still see Boneforged Tier 3 go up in price ever so nice. Now, I would normally moan about metallic sets and talk about how people just don't really care about them. In the past, somewhat recently, we've seen Hardsuit Collection, we've seen Damascus, we saw another one, I can't remember, Heavy Night, there you go. So it's like, I'm not really confident, but then again, I've seen how this goes before. If we still see the collection continuation, tier 2, hoodie and pants, even boots and gloves, that'll still likely bounce up ever so nice. So, okay, I had a fair bit of interest in that. But in regards to the rest of the Rust store, as I looked at it, I remember not feeling super confident. But, as I said, I did bring up the Ruin Custom SMG. So I do believe this was the first instance ever that we saw in our Custom SMG of transparency. So, hopping over to here, produced by Mr. Bad Trip and Hulk. It is part of their well-established Ruin collection. Very nice design. We're still fairly, like, not too far off from the recent release from the Jungle update, so we're still seeing some pretty cool-looking jungle theme skins being accepted, even after a month. But was everybody fully aware of the transparency of that? And would it work out perfectly for it? Now, I did put out a short video showcasing this, and I put it on TikTok and whatnot. It didn't get that much traction, especially compared to, like, the Heatseeker skins. But I would have thought at least a fairly decent amount of people would be aware of it. Okay, well, it is the custom SMG as well. How many of you are appreciating the weapon itself, the custom SMG? Well, I mean, you've got to use it sometime, surely. So, okay, fair enough. So, hopping back over to here, reminding myself, I did also talk about the Croco AK-47. So, another green AK, I mean, that's interesting. And I did, at this specific point in time, recently make a video showcasing green weapons with green clothing armor in the jungle and seeing which ones look like they perform well and what combinations you can do. But it was pretty close to the Bamboom AK, and if I can remember, that Bamboom green AK-47, which had appeared just a few weeks before this, that was half its price. Sold for $3.49, it was already down to about $1.70. That wasn't looking very promising. That Croco looked like it might have been a bit of trouble. So, okay. Yeah, that was getting a little bit iffy, so okay, fair enough. We have mentioned that now. I also mentioned the tools. I thought they looked cool, but I still expected them to drop down to about half their price, like most hatchets and pickaxe skins. There's a weird thing that goes on, but basically, look up every single hatchet, pickaxe skin, and you'll see for yourself that they basically go down to about half their price. It's like an inevitability. But if you're aware of that, I mean, you can always do a decent barter and still pick them up and flip them for a little bit of profit. So, okay, smart barter can still work out quite nicely. I felt confident in that. And then with the sheep in the door, it was a perfectly fine looking design. I just didn't fully trust it. Sheep in the doors, there's a lot of them that we already have. It looked nice. And again, a jungle theme sort of skin. But the inevitability of sheep in the doors, failing to maintain interest, failing to maintain their price. It was $2.49. I thought, nah, I think I'll just probably do like a local buy order. But I normally say that to most sheep in the doors. So, okay, fair enough. So, those were my thoughts overall with that Rust store. How was the first 24 hours of sales? So, if we could just quickly navigate over to here, I can show this to you. Not that one. There you go. Yep. Now, this is like 2 hours late. I forgot the time. But that bamboo cage large box was selling very nicely. 13,000 plus subscribers. But technically, you could probably say about 12,500 considering it was 2 hours extra. But anyway, Neon Farm Garage Door was also selling quite a lot. Clearly, that actually had interest. I was actually looking at that farm door and thinking, you know what, maybe there is actually enough farmers out there that has actually helped keep the price up. But again, garage doors in 2025 haven't been performing that well. Much like with sheep in the doors, they just felt like they inevitably go down in price. At this specific point in time, every single garage door that we saw coming out in 2025 instantly went down in price. And I think we had about 20 at this point, so yeah. Just after we had the month of May, where we saw like 5 skins being accepted in, over the course of 4-5 weeks? Yeah. We keep seeing more and more garage doors. Then I could see Boneforged face masks were selling quite a lot. Fair bit more compared to the chest plate, which was interesting. But the face mask had like a lot of transparency, and I was under the impression a lot of people liked that, so okay, fair enough, cool. Door sold quite nicely, tools were alright, but overall, I wasn't really expecting huge, massive gains with the batch of skins here. It definitely felt like it was going to be a barters type of situation. So, okay, fair enough. So, in regards to that then, Hedge, how did you approach everything when it came to doing the abnormal barters? Alright, well, let's go hop over to here and take a look. So, at this point in time, this is Wednesday, the day before we saw the next roster rotation. And well, Bamboo Cage large box, just under 24,500 subscribers. And following that, we had the Neon Farm garage door with 24,274 subscribers. So, okay, both of those are sold very nicely. But there's a lot of them. And that looking a little bit questionable, a little bit worrisome. So, okay, let's hope we do see a collection continuation. And I did see that with the Bamboo Cage large box. We're fully well aware that there was a locker. Okay, well, fair enough. Bone Forged actually sold quite a lot as well. Just under 19,000 for the face mask there and the chest plate. Yeah, even bigger distance. That only had just over 16,000 subscribers. Now, only the face mask was abnormal, not the chest plate. So that was selling at $2. This was selling at 99 cents. But still, I wasn't 100% confident. And I've seen instances like this before where we tend to see a higher price skin come out compared to another piece, like, you know, face mask and chest plate. But they end up going down to similar prices. So we'll talk about that in a second. Jupiter door, well, you sold quite a lot, fair enough, but still I wasn't feeling confident in it. And all the other skins, they're quite alright. So let's now talk about the actual like price suggestions when I did the abnormal barders. Bamboo Cage large box, I actually felt confident. I thought, you know what, with that locker looming, and after seeing how the small box, reacted with the arrival of the large box, I felt confident in it. I thought it's, unique. Creative transparency would probably be appreciated and utilised in a very interesting way. So I thought, you know what, I'll offer $1.50 to $2. With the Neon Farm garage door, I was aware of the situation with garage doors, and in the past I'd already seen other neon garage doors come out and go down in price pretty quickly. I know there was a theme to it. I know it's like specific doors with specific rooms, which, look, it's cool, it's nice. It's just, is this going to continue? Are we going to go like see a lot more skins being made and accepted? But then again, still garage doors, I still didn't fully trust them. So I suggested $1.20 to $1.80. For a $2.49 skin, that's okay. But I wasn't that confident in it. So, okay, fair enough. Bone Forged face mask. I was looking at both these pieces here. So, technically speaking, I'm also talking about the Bone Forged chest plate. And, how many collections were active at this specific point? Tara collection, Black Alligator. We also had Tiger. So, quite a lot. Yep. Wasn't feeling confident. I don't trust metallic sets. Shiny metallic sets. Blech. So, okay then. I suggested 50 cents to 70 cents for the face mask. Yeah, that's what I suggested. Played it safe. With the Night Hunter's door, again, I've seen so many like reasonably cool looking sheep doors come out over the past few years and instantly go down in price. I went with the 70 cent to $1 bar holder. Didn't feel like risking it. Tempered backpack, perfectly fine looking design. It's just, the actual tempered clothing armor set isn't exactly in demand. Weapons do quite alright, but the clothing armor, and it's a full set. I thought I'd just stick with 80 cents to $1.20. And then we had the Croco AK-47, $2.49, green AK, but you know what? After seeing how the Bamboom AK-47 behaved, and then after, with the Croco AR being accepted, it still went down further in price. I was like, wow, Croco. I might just stick with a low ball bar order. So I went with 80 cents to $1.20. Half its price and less. Well then, we also happen to have the regular skins, so we also have the Bone Forged chest plate, Ruin SMG, and Antique Tools. So Bone Forged chest plate, I actually went lower. I offered 40 cents to 50 cents for that one. So yeah, even cheaper compared to the face mask. I just didn't have the faith. With the Ruin Custom SMG, a $2 skin, I thought about it, I questioned it, and I thought, you know what? Inevitably, I think it's still going to go down in price in the future. As time goes on, people will slowly be aware of its transparency. And it very likely might be the only transparent custom SMG we see. So I thought, you know what, I'll do 90 cents to $1.30. But are there enough people out there that actually appreciate the custom SMG? You still have to question that. It's kind of like with LR300 skins. You could have a very cool look and design. You could have tons of transparency. But it felt like it was always going to go down in price regardless because people don't appreciate the weapon itself. Ugh. So where's the justification to own skins? Ugh. So yeah, cool. And then we had the Antique Tools. As I said, it was expected it's going to go down by half its price. If they're selling for $2 each, you'd expect them to reach around $1 at some point. So I suggested 60 cents to 80 cents. That's what I suggested. Yep. Well then, how did everything turn out? How did everything turn out after those suggestions? So let's get a quick glimpse of this, but I will hop back to Skinlytics. There were pretty good looking sales. there was clearly interest in quite a lot of these skins. But in terms of, did anything work out? No. No. So let's now hop over to Skinlytics and go through all these skins in order of sales. Bamboo Cage Large Box. So we did get that continuation with the next Rust store, which I'll give you a little sneak of right here, right now. You can see that we did get the locker the very next Rust store. Cool. But it didn't really spike demand that much. In fact, it actually immediately went down to its Rust store price very quickly. Yeah, that happened. That happened. I saw it with my own eyes. And let me also tell you, I actually bought some of the skins. So if I could just quickly point this out, this is my list of skins I bought so far this year. And back in June, I actually bought 10 Bamboo Cage Large Boxes and 10 Ruin Custom SMGs. I'll talk about the Custom SMG in a bit. But yeah, I thought when I did the abnormal barders, it didn't look like the barders were looking that strong. Even though they went close to $2.50, it still looked a bit iffy. And with its immediate price going down, I was like, okay, what's going on here? Oh dear, oh dear. But yeah, apparently there wasn't actually interest in the set. Because even the locker went down in price and the small box, it all went down. I had a lot of optimism for it, but clearly other people didn't. Clearly other people didn't care. Now, you know what? We could see how things turn out as we approach the likes of the, post-Christmas, January 2026, when we see a lot of people playing Rust, because of course, people out of work and out of school for Christmas and whatnot. Here's hoping, because that's gone all the way down to $1. It is $1 on the Steam market right now. So if I just click that, okay, so that's going to show me details and stats and whatnot, but actually just go to the Steam market. I just noticed on Skinport it's actually even cheaper, 86 cents. Wow. So yeah, it's less than $1. Oh dear. What went wrong? Well, I think a lot of people jumped into the hype after the small box, and my short video wasn't seen by that many people, but I think a lot of people just assumed there was going to be a very quick flip profit. We got a lot of listings. There's 350 here. Ooh. So I get the feeling far too many jumped in, got involved with this, jumped in, bought a bunch, and then instantly threw it on the Steam market. It immediately suffered, and now here we are. Not good, not pretty, and I've made a loss. My suggestion was, what was it? $1.50 to $2. Well, yeah, no, that... So did you happen to buy any of these? Did you feel optimistic? Chat, feel free to message as well if you're one of those people. But yeah, oops, that didn't work out. Now, I did buy some with some buy orders. I did remove the buy order, but I already bought quite a lot. So yeah, I've got to wait a while until I see that back, go back up in price. Oh dear, I made a mistake. But sometimes you go for a little bit of a risk and see how things turn out. But most of the time, it's too risky. Nuts. So okay, fair enough. It is what it is. But it looked interesting. It looked like a lot of people clearly wanted it. Again, with the sales, it's just, yeah, no. Okay. Neon Farm Garage Door. So, looking at you, well, it went down in price. But how has it actually performed in terms of, how it is on the Steam market now? Because whilst it went down in price, it didn't suffer as bad compared to the likes of the large box. It's sitting here at $1.50. Now, my price suggestion was $1.20 to $1.80. Now, in theory, you'd think it should be a good price because currently we're in August at the moment. Well, let's just look at sales history. We'll talk about, a bit more about that because it did drop off. It was cheaper at one point. It was selling for about $1.10, $1.15 at one point. It has actually kind of climbed up a little bit, but it's still sitting there like that. Now, the buy orders, seems like a lot of people probably did do some buy orders, probably around $2 when it first initially became marketable, but they're gone now. I actually removed my buy order. I bought a few of them, then removed it because it just didn't look like it was even going to actually retain its price. So that's unfortunate, but we did kind of expect that. Garage doors looking very unreliable. I was also fully well aware that the other skins in this neon collection of garage doors, they weren't holding up. None of them were. It honestly felt like an inevitability. I just thought with the more, clearly with more interest in the purchases with this, I thought maybe it would retain a fair bit better. Evidently no. But then again, we can see what post-Christmas is like. It is just a good few months away now, 4 months to go. But yeah, maybe it does bounce up. Maybe I'm being a little bit too optimistic. But my suggestion was kind of alright if you actually wanted to buy it, because it's basically smack dab in the middle. I said $1.20 to $1.80. It's sitting there at $1.50 at the moment, and after that, listing there, it's immediately back up to $1.60. So, profitable at the moment? Not really, but if you're only stuck with a $1.20 barter, you're probably still in a perfectly fine position. Let's see how that behaves as we go through September, October, November. The auto-fall seasonal dip, where kids go back to school and we see a drop in player count. But considering the potential naval update that might appear October or November time, we'll see. All right, but for that, maybe we'll just need to give it a bit more time. So, yeah. Did sell quite a lot, of course, with 25,500 subscribers by the end. I just kind of expected better. Boneforge Tier 3. I can confirm we did not get a collection continuation accepted. If we did, I'd probably be a lot more happier right about now. But in terms of the barders that I had, I did actually remove my barder because, yeah, it still went cheaper than that, unfortunately. So I suggested for the face mask 50 cents to 70 cents. I suggested for the chest plate 40 cents to 50 cents. And even then, it went cheap. It went cheap. So let's look at this in the Steam market right now. Sorry about this. I'm still getting used to this website. But yes, as you can see, it's sitting there at 93 cents. So if I do recall, it did get cheaper at one point. There's definitely been some sales for a cheaper price than that. But it looks like it's climbed up a little bit, but we never got the collection continuations. So whilst that's currently sitting like that, and how's the chest plate at the moment, looks like it's not as good, but also not surprising. So yeah, that's sitting there about 70 cents at the moment. Yeah, we're not surprised. So it is unfortunate. I just don't trust metallic sets, and this is a perfect example of why. They don't actually manage to keep interest. Unless we see collection continuations, they will not keep interest. Because there's a lot of other options you can compare to. Now, the transparency in that face mask is still looking cool, and I'm pretty sure some people are probably buying it because they like that, but not so much with the chest plate, and yeah. But I will sit here and say the skin creator did intend, they did try to get continuations. It just didn't happen. So, okay, fair enough. So that's not looking very good so far at the moment with these skins here. Did you make any profits, Hedge? Not yet. Night Hunter door, as expected, dropped in price. We expected it to go down to probably like $1, maybe even less. And I can confirm right now it's sitting there at 86 cents. So I suggested 70 cents to $1. And yep, as you can see, it's just gone down. There was an attempt for a collection continuation, but that didn't happen, unfortunately. So what was that? A garage door, I believe? Looks like Mr. Gunya hasn't submitted anything for a while. There you go. Yep, it looked cool. It looked nice. It's just... there's actually a second version over here as well. So, okay, cool. But yeah, no collection continuation. And like many sheep doors, they just inevitably go down. But my word, from $2.49 all the way down to 86 cents. Well, that just basically showcases perfectly what sheep doors are like this year. So, okay. Ruin Custom SMG. So I thought about it a lot. I questioned it a lot. And I thought, you know what? I might as well just take a pop for it. I went for it. I went and threw down and purchased 10 of them just because I thought, why not? And it still went down in price. Because evidently, I don't think everybody is actually fully aware that this has transparency. This is technically speaking a pay-to-win skin. But it's still looking very thin here. Could probably climb up eventually as time goes on. But like many custom SMGs, it's just gone down in price. We've had plenty of interesting collection continuations. We've had the likes of Redemption and Thundergold and all that. Still went down in price. So this right here has followed suit. It's actually one of the better performing custom SMGs though. Maybe this could recover. Maybe this could work out quite nicely. Maybe we could see some more Ruin skins being produced. That'd be interesting. But yeah, this is how it's currently looking. So initially went down, went up a little bit, and then went back down again. So, okay, fair enough. But yeah, I bought 10. So let's hope that we see some nice rise in price probably around January time. But I've just got to sit here and wait, unfortunately. And I did pick up a few barders with my $1.30 barder, and I do believe I still have it. So, yes. No, it's gone because there. Oops. It's the other barder I have. It's the 90-cent barder I still have. So I am probably situated right about... Am I here? Did I do a lower price? I can't remember. Or did I only request so many? Did my currency get stronger again? I'm a little bit lost. Sorry about that. Either way, it's not down super bad, but it didn't retain its value. In terms of my price suggestion, I mean, you've probably picked some up, but I even bought some, and yeah. So you could still sell. You could sell at $1.30 after tax and still make some profit, but only a few. And how much is it even selling at the moment? It's not telling me the past 24 hours of sales. That's a bit unfortunate. I'd happily point that out to you, but it's not telling me. So yeah, it looks like it's getting a good few sales a day. It's just, yeah, not that much. So oh dear. So Did you buy any of those? Because you also thought that maybe that might work out quite nicely. Go for the comment below, but clearly it didn't work out, but not the end of the world. Antique tools went down to $1. There was no escape, but that was expected, that was anticipated, and I have bought a few of a cheaper buy order. So yes, $1.22 for the hatchet at the moment, and yeah, there's actually buy orders at 99 cents and all this and that, but my buy order's like 80 cents. I think I'm here. Oh, I'm 88. Okay. Again, I think my currency's gotten stronger compared to dollar. But yeah, as we go over to here, both of them have matched up to expectation. It's not the first time we've talked about, tools and how they usually go down to $1. But yeah, both of them are slightly above $1, which is better, but still, it's basically the same thing. So yeah, I have bought a few of each, but that's it. Not that much. And I think I only did one buy order on these, so okay, fair enough, fair enough. So congratulations to anyone who bought them for super, super cheap, but it's not like they're selling a lot, and it's not like they're selling for a huge profit. So yeah, but profit is profit. It adds up, so cool. Tempered backpack. Probably the best performing skin out of all the skins here. It's gone down in price, but it's gone down in price the least. So that sold for $2.49, but I didn't have that much faith in it. I looked at all the tempered clothing and armor skins. I questioned it. I thought, do people even want to have a big purple backpack? Evidently, there's enough people that want to keep the price up, and apparently people do want that. So, yeah, $2.49, but now it sits here with probably about, 15 listings here below its roster price. But then again, January time, could it rebound? But yeah, what was its lowest price? Let's just go find out. So it looks like right now is actually its lowest price. It looks like it's actually done a fairly decent job of staying up, but it's still been, for most of its existence, it's been slightly below its roster price. That is the situation. And I suggested 80 cents to $1.20. I thought I'd only go halfway. I haven't picked up any. It's not selling that much. There's not that many listings, and yeah, so I think I got that wrong. I think I can happily sit there and say that I probably should have offered a bit more. I just don't fully trust backpack skins. I've been burnt before, and I don't feel like getting burnt again. So, okay, fair enough. That worked out better than anticipated, so props to you, Tempered Backpack. If you bought any yourself, feel free to comment below and brag about the profit. But as expected, this green Trakmer AK-47, which, mind you, it does look nice. It's got a very nice, interesting design. When I first saw that, I thought that was amazing. With the crocodile teeth, the whole head there and whatnot. I thought that was cool. But unfortunately, he is not being appreciated, and he has gone down pretty bad. Sold for $2.49. Now he is selling for 93 cents. He is below his roster price by a lot and below $1. Oh my goodness. So, at the moment, it looks like someone's just literally bought out a bunch. I'm not sure if it's a viewer right here who's up to no good. But anyway, yeah, it looks like someone's just... It could be the beginnings of manipulation, you never know. But that didn't sell that much either. If I could just quickly point that out. It did 11,300 subscribers. That's not ridiculously low, but it's still a fair bit low. But yeah, as you'll notice, it's just kind of gone down in price and it didn't really do much. Yeah. Yeah, it's been less than $1 for a while. So, just because it's green didn't mean it meant much. Much like the Bamboo AK, which I could quickly show to you right now. Bamboo. How are you? You are... Whoa, you're cheaper. 92. Oh dear. That sold for $3.49. Look at it now. Oh my, oh my. But I learned from that. I applied that with my buy order. And I will sit here and say I bought a few at $1.20, but I removed the buy order. So I have bought a few. I still have the 90-cent buy order, I believe. But I don't think I did a solid 90 cents. I might have done cheaper. I'm pretty sure I still had the buy order, but I might have done about 80 cents. I might have gone a bit cheaper. I don't fully know at the moment, but yes, I have picked up some of those Trakmer AK-47s. They did go down, and they did go down a bit more. So that's gone down by negative 62%. Ooh, dear, oh dear, oh dear. So overall, this whole Rust store, I wasn't that invested. I wasn't that interested. Like, as I said, I had quite a lot of optimism for the Bamboo Cage large box, and I was by default somewhat invested in Boneforge, but with all the other skins, I didn't see that much, and this whole Rust store has gone down pretty bad. It has not worked out very nicely. So, yeah, basically matched up the expectation of, what's the opposite of optimistic again? There's the optimist, and there's the, this is Hedge for getting an important word late at night. Sorry about that. Optimist and chat, quick, dictionary. Anyway, pessimist. That's it. Thank you very much. It was pessimistic, and my optimism got anchored down, and I've sunk into the water of pessimism. Oh dear, oh dear. So I have actually bought a few skins here, my incorrect builders, and I am going to suffer a fair bit with this, but as you'd know, I've got a lot of skins. And every now and then something does work out very, very nicely. It's a nice investment. So in this particular week, no, that was not the case. And now I will give you a nice little preview for next week, the 12th of June, the second week of June in 2025. We saw the return of the Heatseeker collection, and we did not see Tire Tier 3. And back then, I was very upset with that. I was like, oh great, yeah, another grey set. That was the beginning of Island Assault. I'm sure you've seen the prices recently for that, haven't you? If you just go take a look at the front page of the Rust Steam market, quick refresh over here. Yeah, that's been doing very well for itself as of recent. But back then, nobody really anticipated much, and that's gonna be a very fun video to talk about. And so thank you very much for watching me. This was a bit different. Again, it's out of my control, the situation with SMM, but yeah, it's got issues, and I will confirm there are other websites being made at the moment. Can't reveal all the details, but this isn't the only one, so we'll see how things progress from here now. But yeah, that's next week's video. Oh, it's gonna be a fun one. So once again, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Feel free to comment below if you managed to succeed somehow with that Rust we just talked about. But I think there's going to be quite a lot of people happily talking about this one next week. Oh, yes. So best of luck with you and your investments. Catch you later. See you. Goodbye.